Why does everyone hate FC Barcelona? Is it the refereeing controversies? Maybe it's that boring tiki-taka football? Or could it be the whole diver club label? Or maybe, just maybe, it's because the bigger the club, the more haters it attracts. Let's dive in and find out. So, Barcelona's in this weird transition phase, right? And it's been a minute since that's happened to them. Sure, Juventus and Manchester United are also struggling, but whenever people talk about underperforming teams, Barcelona's always the first name to drop. Why? Well, remember the days of Pep Guardiola, Tito Villanova and Luis Enrique? Those guys set the bar so high, it's almost unfair to expect anyone to reach it again. Beating Barcelona back then was like winning a mini World Cup for any club. And now? Well, we're just another team you can beat, and people love it. Especially fans of Real Madrid and PSG. Seriously, they can't stop talking about the times Barca dove their way to victories. You know, like that crazy comeback against PSG, the famous remontada. That was years ago, but they still call them the Diver Club. Yeah, the 2010s Barca side was legendary for some, but others just saw Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba flopping around for non-existent fouls. Even though things have changed, people are still salty about those viral moments. Jordi Alba even once said, "I think I'm one of the most hated players in football." And honestly, he might be right. Then there's this whole thing where neutral fans just found our prime style. Boring. Like, love how Bayern plays, they're so much faster than Barca back in their prime. Barca was so slow and dull. Yeah, someone actually said that in 2013. And don't even get me started on that 2009 Champions League game between Chelsea and Barca. Chelsea fans still whine about how that was the biggest robbery in football, saying they bribed the ref, Ovrebo. And every time we meet a Chelsea fan, they bring that game up like it just happened last week. Yeah, Ovrebo made some bad calls, but both teams got bad calls that night. Plus, people forget Barca got robbed in the first leg too. Barcelona's success on the pitch has fueled envy and resentment, particularly among British clubs and fans. The Catalan club made history by being the first in Spain to win the treble and the first in Europe to achieve a second treble, both in the last decade. This period of dominance, especially under Pep Guardiola, contributed to the bitterness among rivals. Under Guardiola, Barcelona not only won multiple league titles, but also saw Lionel Messi set a world record with 91 goals in a calendar year. Furthermore, two Barcelona Academy graduates, Xavi and Andres Iniesta, played crucial roles in Spain's 2010 World Cup victory. And if that wasn't enough, there's the whole no Messi, no Barca thing. People love to say Messi was the only reason Barca was relevant, like the rest of our players were just average. They say Xavi only knew how to make short passes, Iniesta was overrated, and talents like Pedri and Gavi wouldn't last a day on teams like Manchester City. Then there's Messi himself, who, for some reason, gets so much hate. Some say he stole Ballon d'Ors from Ronaldo, Haaland and Schneider, that he's not a real leader, or that he would flop in the Premier League. And yeah, people even hate on him for not looking like your typical athlete. Basically, if you're a Messi fan, you're a Barca fan. And if you hate Messi, you probably hate Barca too. That's just how it goes. The bigger the club, the more haters it's going to have. Simple as that. Even when things are tough, Barcelona is still one of the biggest clubs on the planet, with a massive fan base, huge brand value, and loads of potential. And that's exactly why people still love to hate on them, even if most of the reasons for that hate don't even make sense anymore. Barcelona's current mess isn't just bad luck, it's a masterclass in how to mismanage a club. You'd think that they were trying to win some sort of trophy for the worst decision-making in football. It all starts with the board, where Josep Bartomeu's reign turned into a financial horror show. He splashed cash like it was a FIFA video game, making big money signings without any clear plan, leaving the club drowning in debt. Fast forward, and here they are, still haunted by those poor decisions. Remember those baffling transfers that still sting today? Felipe Coutinho, Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele? The list goes on. Huge sums of money thrown at players who either didn't fit the system, didn't deliver, or both. And then, in a move that screams panic, they let Messi go for free. The face of Barcelona just walked out the door. Brilliant, right? And what about those deals that make no sense at all? He is an excellent player without any doubt, but spending 60 million euros on Dani Olmo when the club needs a left wing and a right back. They even had to let Gundogan go for free just to register him. It's like the board has no idea what they're doing. Then there's this whole situation with Vitor Roque, a young talent brought in early to add firepower. But instead of giving him a shot, they benched him, or even worse, loaned him out to Real Betis. Why bring him in if you don't have a clear plan? This scattergun approach just shows a lack of strategy and vision for the club's future. Frenkie de Jong's situation perfectly sums up Barcelona's boardroom chaos. Signed as a future star, he's now caught in the middle of financial mismanagement and poor planning. His contract? An eye-watering €37 million for next season, making him one of Europe's highest paid players. And that's because he agreed to defer wages during COVID, which backfired, leaving the club owing him millions. Selling him sounds like a fix, but it's not. Barcelona would have to pay off his deferred wages between 25 and €34 million, and still owe Ajax €30 million from his transfer. So, a sale could end up netting them almost nothing. Plus, if Frenkie decides to stay, he could run down his contract and leave for free in 2026, like Mbappe did with PSG, taking a fat paycheck somewhere else while Barca gets nothing. Then we've seen the trend of hating on young talents lately, and it's a shame because these kids are seriously showing what they're made of. Barcelona, even in their rough patches, keep churning out talent from La Masia, and it's almost like people are just looking for reasons to hate on them. Take the Champions League clash against Napoli this March. Xavi, who's since left the club, threw in a bunch of under-18s. That was a first in the competition. And guess what? Fermin Lopez came off the bench to score, keeping their season alive with that youthful spark. Then there's Lamine Yamal, who's been absolutely tearing it up. The kid's not alone though. Pau Kobazi, Hector Fort, Baldi, and many more are also stepping up and showing promise. La Masia, once the pride of Barcelona, seems to be back in full force. Even though this season hasn't been trophy-winning material, the return of such a renowned academy is a huge win for the future. But there's always that pressure, right? Barcelona has had this thing where they search high and low for the next Messi. It's been a bit of a curse too. From Bojan to Giovanni Dos Santos, and more recently, Take Kubo and Xavi Simons, it's like every new talent gets compared to Messi, which is a pretty tall order. With rivals like Real Madrid stacking up young stars and big names like Mbappe and Endrick on their radar, Barcelona's spending power is just not up to par. It's a tough spot, especially with the managerial changes. Xavi's gone, and Hansi Flick's now at the helm. And here's the thing, if Flick can harness the potential of those young guns and turn things around, there's hope yet. Barcelona might be down, but with their talent factory firing up again, they might just surprise everyone and get back on top sooner than we think. Success in football, as we've seen, often attracts its fair share of envy and criticism. From their early days without a shirt sponsor to the high-profile deals with Qatar and Rakuten, Barcelona's journey has been a rollercoaster of highs and lows. But with a new squad and exciting young talents like Lamine Yamal, can Barcelona turn things around and reclaim their spot at the top? Only time will tell. What do you think? Can the new generation lead Barcelona to even greater heights? Or will the challenges keep piling up? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe for more football content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. And if you're up for more football talk, check out our next video right here. Catch you in the next one.